Being in the subject of vintage computer restorations, Mr. EPSON here needs some work. Mr. EPSON, he needs a new battery, an internal, a replacement fuse, and what's the other thing? Oh yeah, I need to see if I can debug to why this doesn't work. As you can see, we already have Mr. EPSON open, and whee! Very similar setup to the Hitachi setup for the LCD there. Could well be compatible, I haven't looked into it. Oh yeah, and I also need new ink, and I would definitely benefit getting some paper. But this is my current battery solution. It works, but it's not great. So, we're going to get a fuse holder, because it used a soldered in fuse. We don't like those. We're going to stick a proper fuse holder rather than a jumper wire in, and we should be away in getting this thing working. Well, it does work, but working more properly. This was just really a quick fix to test it when I put the power in the wrong way round once. Oops. I'm lazy and I'm probably not going to do a separate teardown for this a while. Here's an overview of the motherboard. I've done no research into what the chips are, but this chip is the one that's accessible for a panel on the bottom, aka this panel here. One of these is the processor, and there's two of these, so this could be the processor and its co-processor or something like that, or an I/O chip. I'm not 100% sure what. We've got the ROMs here, basic, and over here we have a mysterious one, which I'm going to guess is going to be basically the operating system. These are RAM. There's also an expansion bay sitting down here on the floor somewhere, but I currently can't see it. Here it is. Well, I'll show you inside that. And interestingly, we have this little array of chips. Now the trouble is they're all Toshiba chips. Now my personal history when it comes to searching Toshiba part numbers is Toshiba are bastards and don't release the data sheets. Thumbs down Toshiba, you need to stop doing that because it's really annoying. The processor looks like it runs at 1 MHz because I usually divide these by 2 at least. And we have a reset switch here along with the audio and the relevant audio preamps and amplifier stuff. There's no chips that stand out specifically, and we got another crystal, same as this crystal over here. There's nothing that stands out specifically towards me that says, oh, I recognise this part. Nah, there's nothing that stands out like On this side, that is where the thingy connects. That's the thing. Yeah, my brain's just had a brain fart. Sorry. That's the cassette cartridge module. So, what's on this side? Loads of mysterious chips that are more weird. Although we've got some TI. Oh, 7.5. You don't see those much. They're quite rare. You've got what looks to be some kind of relay here, and so on. Not an overly detailed look compared to some of mine. We've got some dip switches here, and the expansion connector, which is a bit like an IDE connector. In fact, it's probably the same. I don't know if I've noted this, but these fuses aren't technically socketed in these, so I would actually recommend adding a socket. It makes it easier. Now to show you inside the expansion unit. Just 2 screws, and we have a whole ton of RAM. Looks like it's running in 4 nanosecs as well. Access times, we've got some jump leads for A and B, not sure what that is without looking at documentation. These will probably be addressing chips by the location, probably for multiplexing and whatnot. And then we have 2 slots for ROM chips, and it even gives you the type of ROM chips right there. One great thing about this camera is it's got a great macro focus. Sadly, it's got terrible sound. And we've got this switch for on and off. I'm guessing that's just to switch the expansion on and off, or maybe the ROMs. I don't know. Either way, it's on, and we'll leave it like that because we want it functional. And we have dip switches. I should really look at the documentation for this thing and actually figure out what these dip switches are for. I mean, this is RAM. Maybe you might use them for selecting the memory you've upgraded it to, but it all seems a bit, well, finicky. Even more finicky than that, and that's finicky to do upgrades and adjustments in. One interesting thing to point out on the motherboard, at several points, we have these. We have one there, two down here, black being GND and red being 5 volt, and one here, this is another GND one apparently, and of course this yellow one which is a VCC, and we have a white one over here. Some of you might be wondering, what on earth are those for? They are test points, so you can easily hook up equipment like oscilloscopes or multimeters for easy debugging when the thing goes wrong. Remove the shield and you've got full access to all the chip pins and whatnot, and that'll go with the service manual. An interesting design choice that I give very much the thumbs up to. Oh yeah, thermal printer. Now here's a look inside the little data cassette drive that comes with it. And it's actually quite interesting electronically and mechanically. It's surprisingly a bit more complicated than you'd think. You've got two ICs there that I can't see their part number. But watch what happens when I turn this. When we turn it one way, the wheel goes one way. Turn it this way, the other head goes. What ingenious mechanical design. Beautiful. Another thing I love about this, no self-tapping screws, all metal threaded throughout this whole computer. It's beautiful. There's also there's about 3 motors I can see, maybe 2. Fairly complicated device actually. Could be a little more wrong with this actually than I initially thought when I first took it apart. Difficult to see, but see that pinch roll light's not engaged? That's what the second motor is for, to engage that little mechanism. Such a beautifully overly complex mechanism. Shame it's a bit dodge. Yes, I know, I put it back together, but I got something to show you. It's sitting under it, as you may tell how it's levered off the desk. Batteries! We have replacements. Unfortunately, I could only get hold of NiCaps, which is a bit of a bugger, but it's a necessary evil in this case, and you know how much I dislike NiCaps, but it's a necessary evil. We'll make sure we wrap them to all hell in electrical tape so they don't leak. And that should be good for at least 10 years. But they are sub-C size, a little more than the originals, and with solder tags, which means they're safe to solder. I don't have to risk blowing up it. Memory running out rudely interrupted, but I'm thinking to put them into this sort of order. I'll just measure up and make sure that fits, rather than it's more classic, plus all the tabs line up like that, which makes them nice and easy to solder. So bear with me, I need to crack open the EPSON. Well, that's annoying. I'll have to go in the other way round. Might need a bit of a spacer for them. They're a bit more stumpy. They're the right sort of thickness though, so that's good. And this should fit on top. I'm not going to put it on top because I risk shorting them. So that should fit. Yeah, that'll fit. Don't want to put it on top. Oh god, the battery's still low. Having a tub of this stuff, I lack the relevant size to heat shrink those, so we'll be back to the old-fashioned method to insulate them today. It doesn't matter, the battery pack's a bit short. In typical fashion, the batteries need charging. Right, and so it's charging. Don't worry about the adapter polarity, that is actually labelled wrong on this AC adapter. Now it's just a matter of waiting. Oh, we're ready to go. Oh, we've got a dead pixel line. That's not much fun. There we go, so just brought it back online. Right. We'll just Control A that. Why this thing has the month and the day the wrong way round, I do not know. Ready to go. Fully restored EPSON. Now I just need a new ink ribbon for the printer. That'll be ready by 9 o'clock on my watch tonight. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed. I forgot about the expansion unit. Silly me. All back together now. Thanks for watching. Ink ribbon should be arriving in the post reasonably soon.